Hello and welcome back to Not Just Another Fat Girl. This is Kristen, aka your resident fat girl, and tonight, because I'm recording at night, I am continuing the Fat Sex series. And tonight we are going to talk about riding dirty. Yep, you heard me right, riding dirty. And when I say riding dirty, I am definitely not saying to ride without a condom. Safety first, peepee peeps. Make sure he bags it, okay? What I mean is to basically ride him until you feel a little dirty. Ride him until you feel like you need a shower. When you ask a man what his favorite sex position is, typically he will respond with one of two answers. Number one, I think every single one of us could probably guess, and that is doggy style. The second one is basically when a girl rides him when she is on top. The common piece with both of those positions is that he will see your fat jiggle. Yeah, you heard me right. If he is giving it to you good, trust me, you won't care. And newsflash, he will find it sexy as hell. Guarantee you, he will find it sexy as heck. So your goal should be to ride him so good that you don't care that your fat is jiggling because it feels so dang good. Your goal should be to ride him so good that you both get sweaty and feel like you need a shower immediately after. And here comes the key piece, okay? In order to do that, you have to accept a few things. You have to be okay with a few things. Number one, he already knows you're fat, honey. Clothes, girdles, Spanx, saran wrap, they don't cause 50 pounds to evaporate into thin air. So no matter what you think in your little head, when you look in the mirror every single day, dressed in Spanx and girdles and layers and all black and blah, 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 you're not 50 pounds lighter. You do not look 50 pounds thinner. At most, you probably look 10, really pushing it, 20 pounds. He's not going to care about those 10 to 20 pounds. If those 10 to 20 pounds make a difference with him, then, honey child, you just need to walk out that room, okay? For the most part, he is well aware of your true size, and I guarantee you, he's already undressed you in his head before you even enter the bedroom, or wherever you're going to have sex. And I guarantee you he hasn't just done it once. He's probably done it hundreds of times already. He knows, okay? So let go of that fear. Stop worrying about your fat. Stop worrying about your jiggle. Stop. He knows it exists, okay? He knows it's going to move if you're doing it right. And I can tell you right now, if his D is up, he likes what he sees, okay? And seeing your curves bounce all around is only going to feed his ego, which in turn will feed his desire for you. I have never had a man stop in the middle of a round because my fat moved in a way that turned him off. Actually, the reverse has happened. They've been even more turned on by the sight of it moving all around because it meant I was letting go, because it meant I was moving with them. It meant it felt good. Really good. Number two, get out of your own head. Get out of it. Believe it or not, guys like dirty. Yeah. And I'm not talking about no deodorant, haven't washed your cooch in a week type of dirty. I'm talking about they like seeing all the bits we want to cover. And I say we because, all right, we're really going to get personal here, okay? Hi. Our private parts are not exactly pretty. Very, very few guys and gals are blessed with beautiful bits. But guys don't care. They really don't, girls. They just want to be all up in that mix, no matter what that mix looks like. I've stopped guys from going down on me, but a guy has never stopped because he was grossed out by the way I looked down there. So get out of your own head. The negative thoughts you are thinking, I guarantee you haven't crossed his mind. Not once, okay? Number 3, don't be timid, really. When you straddle him, don't worry about crushing him, don't worry about hurting him, and don't worry about the way you look, okay? 3 things here. If he can't breathe, he'll tap out. Trust me. He'll be like, okay, he'll let you know. If you're hurting him in some way, he'll tell you. If he didn't like the way you looked naked, he wouldn't be letting you sit on him right now. Okay? Guarantee you it would have stopped way before this point. Okay? When you go to move, don't be shy about throwing your weight around. Don't worry about something that hasn't happened. And that, I think, is the majority of what we're fighting in our heads. We're fighting assumptions. We are fighting what we're afraid will happen, what we're afraid will come to fruition. And we really do need to let go of that and stop worrying about all the little things that I have never experienced. Okay, I've been on this earth 29 years, and the things that I feared, not when it comes to that anyways, had never happened. But here's the thing that I think we need to stop as women and take a step back and really think about, okay? He's going to get off no matter what, 99% of the time, okay? 99% of the time, men get off. There are some who have it harder and it's not as easy for them. But for the most part, 99% of men get off very, very easily. And they get off at 99.99999% of the time, okay? So holding back isn't going to affect him getting there eventually, because men need very little to get there. I mean, they can use their hand for crying out loud, you know? About the only thing that holding back will do is it will decrease his pleasure in some ways. But like I said, it won't stop him from getting there eventually. But it can stop you. It will stop you. You, as a woman, cannot achieve orgasm unless you get out of your own way. You will not find pleasure, like good, overindulgent, can't breathe, vision blurring, oh my effing whoo, pleasure, if you're holding back. That right there should be reason enough to just go for it. To ride him like you haven't had it in 10 years, okay? But I get it. We all stand in our own way sometimes. So let me break it down for you a little bit further, okay? Let's talk worst case scenario. Number 1, I think one of our biggest fears, you're too heavy for him. Okay, so brace yourself on pillows by his head or the headboard. Take some of the weight off of him. Heck, have him sit on the couch, barring he doesn't have a belly that would get in the way, and ride him there. in that position, holding the back of the sofa, your knees pushing into the cushions on either side of him, 80 to 90% of your weight is going to be off of him. Problem solved. Number 2, he doesn't like what he sees. Okay, honey, so grab your clothes, put them back on, and leave, never to see him again. Problem solved. If he doesn't like what he sees, frankly, he will not even take you to the bedroom. And I have never come across any man who has been so shocked by the difference of a woman in clothes versus outside of clothes to the point where they stopped or prevented them from going to that next level. So really, that's kind of a non-issue when it comes to guys. Yeah. Number 3, your fat is flying in a distracting way. Honey, if he isn't stopping you, okay, if his erection hasn't gone down, trust me, it doesn't bother him. If it bothers you though, just switch it up. Instead of bouncing up and down on him, maybe roughly rock forward and backwards, you know. There are more ways to ride a man than just one, okay? You can change the rhythm, you can change the pace, you know, change the direction, the angle, the whatever. Turn your ass around, give him your butt instead of your face if you want. Do reverse cowgirl. I mean, you have plenty of options, so don't feel limited, okay? I think the next one is probably the biggest one, and that is you're too self-conscious. This is something where no matter what I say or he says, you're not going to be comfortable enough until you do the work. And by work, I mean that journey to self-love. I rarely was on top when I was younger because I didn't love myself, because I didn't think I was pretty, because I was told I wasn't pretty by everyone in my life, including at the time the person I was with. So I tended to avoid that position, thinking in my naive little mind, I did say naive, that being beneath him somehow made me not as fat as I was on top of him. Okay? Very, very naive. But it's the truth. And I think we believe that sometimes, that certain angles add or erase pounds. But the number on the scale doesn't change. Whether you're horizontal or vertical, whether he's looking at you from up here or down here, whether you're on top of him or beneath him, the scale doesn't change. Those pounds don't disappear like that. They're going to be there no matter what angle he's looking at you from. Okay? So really, get out of your own head. Get out of your own way. These days, I will be frank, I enjoy being on top. Not every time, but regularly enough, because I can tease the heck out of him. Because the last guy I was with couldn't get enough of it. Because they really don't care if your fat jiggles. Because we really are sexual goddesses in their eyes when we let go. And being on top is the number one way to do that. Being beneath a man, you are limited in how you move, in how you let go. You can lift your hips, or if doing it doggy style, I mean, you can back that up. But being on top, you're in control. You control the angle, the speed, the depth. You are at a better vantage point to tease the crap out of him simply by doing your thing. There is nothing sexier in a man's eyes than a woman who has no inhibitions. There is nothing more feminine and beautiful than a woman losing herself in her own rhythm until she gets there. Basically, there's nothing more beautiful and feminine and empowering than a woman taking control of her own pleasure, of a woman using the man for once to get what she wants. Basically, kind of being a sexual prowess. There is nothing more empowering than achieving an orgasm on top, because you are in control. You did what you needed to get there, and I guarantee you, he will get there when you do if he hasn't already, simply from the sight and the feel of you. If you've never done it, if you've never gone like from start to finish in that position, I think you would be very surprised. It really is kind of a moment of awe for them, and I think for yourself as well, because it's a moment of accomplishment for you. So if you'll just let go, if you will just go for it, ride him like there is no tomorrow. Ride him like your life depends on it. Ride him like your pleasure depends on it, because, newsflash, it does. I guarantee he won't stop you. In fact, I'm going to go a step further and guarantee that you'll leave him breathless. If you truly get out of your own head, get out of your own way, and seek that O with the same passion and drive that he seeks his every time, moment of awe, truly. I guarantee you will leave him breathless. I mean, you may be breathless too, but get sweaty, okay? Feel your heart pounding. Feel your pulse racing. Time your breaths with each stroke. Throw your weight into it. Don't worry about your boobs sagging or your stomach jiggling. Don't worry about crushing him or about hurting him. If you ever doubt the power you wield over him in that moment, watch his expression as he takes you in. Guarantee you, you will never, ever see disgust, okay? Study his reaction to you. For some men, you may have to look a little closer, but it will be there. That F yeah expression. You will see it, okay? They do not hide their desire well. You'll know if they want you, okay? And no matter where you are in your journey to self-love, I would encourage you to let that be enough, okay? If you don't have the confidence you need yet, don't be afraid to get it from your partner until you do. It's not a perfect system. It's honestly not one I would even recommend, but if you're already in a relationship, if you're already out there, if you already have that connection, if you're already there, this is kind of the plan B, the next step. Don't be afraid to get that extra oomph of confidence from him, okay? But basically, make sure that you do complete the journey to self-love at some point in time, because you don't want to have your entire relationship become this codependency type of thing. All right, that's a whole other topic. I think I will do a video on it at some point in time. But yeah, not a perfect system, but it's enough to get you riding well enough to need a shower, hopefully. But really, the whole point of this video is to encourage y'all to don't be afraid to let go. You seriously have nothing to lose. and so much pleasure and really just, I mean, freedom in general to gain. It is so freeing to simply lose yourself in the act, to lose yourself in someone other than yourself. It's an amazing experience that I would truly encourage all of you over the age of 18. All of you over the age of 18. You're under the age of 18. I don't even know why you're watching this video, so go ahead and click X on it right now, okay? Over the age of 18 to try. Once you see their reaction, once you experience the surge of adrenaline when it's getting good, once you get your first O riding him, trust me, it's addictive. You'll definitely want it again, no matter how submissive you are. So don't be afraid. Go forth. Ride 'em, cowgirl. Seriously, go for it. You truly have nothing to lose. Absolutely nothing to lose. And who knows? I mean, like, if you do it good enough, then maybe you guys could have a second session in the shower when you clean yourself off. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Give me a thumbs up if you like the video, if you want to hear more in this series. Subscribe if you haven't already. Feel free to leave topics down below that you would like me to talk on. I am not afraid to go there. And until next time, loves, stay fabulous.